Good morning, class. This is the Fat Health Teacher. I do have my own YouTube channel. You're welcome to check out the other videos. Today I am going to talk to you about decision making, and my primary reason for doing the video is because I'm out of training, and I wanted to make sure that you were getting the information in a way that I wanted you to have the information. Okay? All right, so the first thing is today during the Socrative, I asked, what are some decisions that you've made today? And things that I expected you to say is what shoes to wear, how to get to school, what to eat for breakfast, what time to wake up. The truth is we make decisions all the time. We make hundreds of decisions a day. Some of them are really little. We have some that are really big. The big decisions are the ones that we tend to pay more attention to. But all decisions go through a process, and this is a process that I'm going to talk about with you today. We're going to take the process that we do hundreds of times a day, and we're going to slow it down so that we can pay attention to it. And we're going to start out with the simple decisions, such as what clothes to wear, or how to cut your hair, that type of thing. And then we're going to talk about how the process that we use for the simple decisions can impact our big decisions. Because the big decisions are the ones where we're writing down like a pro and con chart, or where we ask our friends, or maybe we do some research, that type of thing. The little decisions, we don't tend to do that. We do kind of get outside feedback. Like if I wear high heels and people compliment me, then I'm more likely to wear high heels. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch to my on-screen format, and I'm going to be giving you some notes. So I would like for you to get out your notebooks right now, and this is going to be item 2 in your notebooks. The first item is the syllabus, which you received yesterday. If you do not have a copy of the syllabus to go into your notebooks because you missed the first day of class, you are welcome to ask Lacey for a copy. Thank you. All right. One of the things that you're going to learn as a teacher, as an adult, anybody who relies on technology is that it sometimes doesn't work out the way that you want it to. And that is actually what's happened today. So I spent half an hour or so explaining the process and drawing it out on the screen and all that cool stuff, and then my program crashed. So it didn't capture any of the stuff that it was supposed to capture, and I'm going to have to improvise and do something else. So what I'm going to do is just off the top of my head, I'm going to start talking, and I will actually put a little box like right here, and this is where the notes are going to go. So you're going to have my face, and you are going to have the items for this video. So remember, if it shows up in this box, then you need to write it down. Okay, so problem solving or decision making, it's kind of an interchangeable thing, has 6 different steps. The first step that you see in the box over here is, what is your decision? Okay, it's really simple. What is it that you need to decide? I want you to write it out clearly. That is step number 1. Step number 2, what are the options? So how can you solve this situation? Let's say that your situation is that you need money. So what are some ways that you can solve that? I can think of multiple ways to earn money. Some are legal, some are not. So you have to decide. You could also do something like ask for money from people. This is a thing. People do it all the time. Okay? Step 3 is, what are the pros and cons for every option? I'm not talking about what are the pros for the good option and what are the cons for the negative option. Okay? Somebody offers you a cigarette and you say, oh, well, I'm obviously going to say no because it's got all these health risks, and you're listing all the reasons that saying no is a good idea. And then you list all the reasons that saying yes is a bad idea. The truth is, though, it's a bit more complicated than that. If I'm talking about smoking, okay, I am going to have pros and cons for both options. If I choose to smoke, then a pro for choosing to smoke is maybe I get a longer break, or maybe I get to hang out with some friends, or I get to be like that person that I'm attracted to. It could be anything, to be honest. Hold on, I keep forgetting to leave room for the box. All right. So a con of saying no could be that I miss out on that opportunity to have something in common with a person. I might not be seen as fun or as cool or however it is that you want to explain it. Additionally, maybe I have a cigarette addiction, a nicotine addiction, and if I say no, then I'm not going to feed that addiction, so I might not be that nice to be around. Okay? I actually had this friend, and he was such a heavy smoker that when he quit, he turned into just like this giant, enormous, just terrible person. And his dad, who was working with him, went out and got him cigarettes. And he was like, I just can't deal with you when you're trying to smoke. So here's some cigarettes, smoke. So it was a very big con for attempting to quit smoking. Okay? And this is true about everything. Even the stuff where it seems like it only has negatives, I guarantee you there are some positives. Okay? What I'd like for you to do right now is I want you, on the little whiteboard that's at your desk, to write down pros and cons for, let's see, pros and cons for coming to school. Okay? So just do a little whiteboard, and I'm going to have Lacey pause this video. When you're done writing down your pros and cons, I want you to share them with each other. All right. How many of you came up with at least 3 pros and at least 3 cons? If you did, fantastic. If you did not, what I want you to do is take a look at your list again and see if you can expand it. Okay? Because when we do this worksheet, I'm going to be asking you for at least 3 pros or 3 good things that could happen as a result of your choice, and 3 bad things that could happen as a result of your choice. All right? You can find them. Sometimes they can be hard to find, but I guarantee you that they're there. All right, let's move on to step 4. Step 4 is, what is it that you want to get out of this decision? Like, what's important to you? All right. I've also called this step values in the past. For example, let's say I'm thinking about where to go to school. And in order to figure this out, I say, well, I could go to CNM, I could go to UNM, or I could go to Harvard. I've been accepted to all 3 because I'm awesome. All right. Now, I have to figure out what my priority is. Is my priority my quality of education? Is my priority not spending a whole lot of money? Is my priority staying near family? Because depending on my priority, it's going to impact which choice I'm going to make. All right? So I'm going to write down what my priority is. Okay? So let's say in this situation that my priority is to save money. I'm going to look back at my choices and I'm going to say, okay, how expensive is CNM? Does that help me save money? And the answer is yes, it helps me save money. And I'm just going to write down yes, and I'm going to explain that. All right, B, UNM. Well, UNM's not as expensive as Harvard, but it's still more expensive than CNM. So I can write that down. I can put, this might still be feasible. Okay? And then the last one, Harvard. Harvard is $50,000 a year to go to school. Plus you have getting out there, and you have transportation, and you have all kinds of stuff. So we're talking really expensive. So because my value is on cost, I'm going to say Harvard is not an option. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to step 5. And step 5 is going to be... Step 5 is going to be, I'm going to look at each of those 2 consequences, 2 items. So I have UNM and CNM. And I'm going to take a look at the negative consequences. So expense is going to be a big one. And I'm going to figure out how I can make that negative consequence not such a problem. Okay? CNM is probably the cheapest you can go to school. Okay? For UNM, maybe you can stay off campus, you can live with your parents, you can avoid having to purchase a meal plan. There's all kinds of stuff. Okay? So those are going to be ways that I can counterbalance the negative impacts. All right? Let's say I had another decision. All right, so let's say I want to go to a party, I want to have fun, and I decide that one of the ways that I want to have fun is drink. Well, I know that some of the negative consequences of drinking are puking, blacking out, doing something stupid, putting myself at risk for rape and things along those lines. And so what I decide to do is I have a friend who comes with me and they're my sober person and they kind of keep an eye out on me. Another way I could reduce my risk is by saying, you know what, I'm going to have 2 beverages and then I'm done. Or I could say I'm going to have 4 and then I'm done. I'm going to do things like make sure that I open my own drinks. I'm going to make sure that if I put it down, I don't pick it back up. So these are things that I'm going to do in order to make that situation safer or to reduce negative consequences. All right, so that's all about step 5. All right, and step 6 is what am I actually going to do? Okay, and so I'm going to write down what my decision is, and then I'm going to say, like, how am I going to accomplish that? So if I say I'm going to go to CNM, then one of the first things I need to do is A, finish high school, and B, put in my application for CNM. I need to fill out my FAFSA in order to figure out if I qualify for financial aid, because there are some grants that are available. I need to figure out if I qualify for scholarships, so I need to do scholarship applications, all kinds of stuff. Okay? Lacey is going to give you the worksheets now, and what I want you to do is on the first side of the worksheet, okay, because they're both the same, so just pick a side. And at the top, I want you to write easy. Okay? This side is going to be your easy choice. What is it that you're going to do for your decision-making problem that is easy? And this could be something like, do I get a pet? This could be, what time should I be getting up? What should I have for breakfast? I want to get a job, that type of stuff. Okay? So this is the worksheet. And just up here at the top, okay, over here, you're just going to write easy, all right? And then you're going to flip it over, and on the other side, you're going to write big deal, okay? So one side's easy, the second side is big deal. And the big deal decision is going to be when to have kids, or when to move out and live on your own, or with your partner, or with your friends. Okay. Big deal decision could also be what to do after college. A big deal decision could be what to do for a job. It's up to you. But it has to be something that you are considering. And as you're working through this, so when you're working on the first one, I want you to go ahead and work in groups. And so when you're looking, steps 1, 2, and 3 are going to be the same for each of you. But when you get down here to step 4, this is where you're going to differentiate. Because each of you has different values. All right, so Bob may think that the most important thing is to maintain close connections to his family. Sally may think that the most important thing is her friends and to have fun. Charles may think that the most important thing is to save money. And there might be Wendy, and Wendy thinks that the most important thing is to experience new things. Okay, so you have to figure out what it is. Again, steps 4, 5, and 6 are going to be different for each of you. Okay? Thank you. Have a good day. I will see you all on Friday.